Assalamualaikum student. How are you all? Hope you are well. So this is our lecture first, part 6, and we are learning about the component of a cell. So we have completed from cytoplasm, then we have completed plasma membrane, cell membrane, and lysosomes, Golgi apparatus. So now today we are going to learn about the another cell component or a cell organelle, that is mitochondria, and next we will see about the vacuoles. Okay, so student, we know that each organism need an energy. For example, not only that living, but also that non-living also required some energy. For example, like fan, a fan needs an electricity for their work. Okay, then living organism also need an energy for working, like running and doing anything. They require an energy. So where is this energy produced and where it comes from? एनर्जी आती कहाँ से और कहाँ से प्रोड्यूस होती है? सो इन आवर लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स बॉडी देर इज़ अ पर्टिक्यूलर component or a component or organelle present inside the cell in both plants and any animal cell that helps in the production of energy, because each cell requires energy, and this energy is produced in the special type of organelle or a component of a cell that is called as a mitochondria. Okay, so under the electron microscope, a mitochondria is seen, and it is a double membrane structure. Okay, like that we have know that plant cell is a double membranous, and some organelle which are present inside the cell, some are double membranous, some are single membranous. यानी किसी में double membrane होती है, किसी में single membrane होती है. So mitochondria is one of the organelle which is covered with a double membrane. A mitochondria is double membrane structure, which is also called as a powerhouse of a cell. What it called? Powerhouse of a cell, that is nothing but the mitochondria. So let's see the structure of the mitochondria. See, this is a structure of a mitochondria. That brown color is the outer membrane, the sky blue colors membrane is inner membrane, so it is double membrane. So the outer membrane is a porous means it's having some pores on it, and the inner membrane is deeply folded. See that finger like projection are present like that. Okay, so the inner membrane is folded, and these folds are called as a cristae. This fold looks like this, you know, like it is also called as finger like projection. उंगलियों के जैसे ऐसे प्रोजेक्शन है, तो दैट फोल्ड इज कॉल्ड एज अ क्रिस्टी or cristae. The inner cavity is filled with proteinous gel. This inner cavity, which is filled with some proteinous gel like matrix. एक मैट्रिक्स स्पेशल टाइप का मैट्रिक्स रहता है जो प्रोटीनस जेल पे कंसिस्ट है, which contain the ribosomes, phosphate granules, and also DNA. And you know DNA is a genetic material, so therefore it can produce its own protein. So it produces its own protein, and we know that protein is a very energy providing, we can say a material. Energy providing material is nothing but the protein. So with the help of an enzyme, mitochondria oxidize some carbohydrate and fat in the cell. So there are some enzyme also present, and with the help of this enzyme, the mitochondria oxidize the carbohydrate and fat in a cell. The energy released in this process is stored in the mitochondria in the form of ATP. So when it produce the, or when it oxidize some carbohydrate or other materials, so that required an energy, need some energy, and that energy stored in the form of a ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Here it is written already, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, And the plant cells have less mitochondria than the animal cell. We have already studied in a starting that there are some differences between animal cell and plant cell. Both the plant cell and animal cell have mitochondria, but the plant cell have less mitochondria than an animal cell. Okay. So this is about the mitochondria, and we have learned the structure of a mitochondria. Now let's see the function of a mitochondria. Though mitochondria produces the energy-rich compound like ATP, mitochondria produces ATP, which is energy-rich compound, and that ATP we need for other functions. For example, like function means if some organelle get ruptured, get destroyed, that mitochondria provide the energy or protein to that particular organelle for reproducing that particular organelle. Okay, so synthesis of protein and carbohydrate, lipids, etc. also produced in the mitochondria by using the energy, that is ATP. Understood? Now one more thing, important thing, that each and every cell in a body having the mitochondria in it, but in RBC cell there is no mitochondria, and due to this the oxygen which is carried by them is not used for themselves. Okay, so this is one important point, remember that. So our next is the vacuole. Next organelle of a cell is a vacuoles. So you know vacuoles means what? They are the sac-like structure. We have seen in the cell. There is a big vacuole in a plant cell, and see this diagram. This is a vacuole. There's big vacuole in a plant cell, and small vacuoles are present in a animal cell. So what is the presence? Why it is necessary that it is present? क्यों ज़रूरी है vacuoles in the cell? So vacuoles are the storage sac for a solid or liquid contents. Okay, as you know that plants produce the food, and that food जितना उनको लगता है वो उतना यूज़ करते हैं plant. Then after that what will do? They store some food for any conditions they need. So some storage purpose that vacuole is used. So it is a storage sac. और स्टोरेज भी कौन सा? लिक्विड भी स्टोर कर सकते हैं और सॉलिड भी स्टोर कर सकते हैं. सो वैक्यूल don't have any typical shape or a size. Vacuole don't have any typical shape, any typical size. The structure of a vacuole changes according to the need of the cell. And vacuole is bound by a single membrane. So vacuole, lysosome, cytoplasm are the some organelle which don't have a double membrane. They are the single membranous. Understood now? So vacuole is a single membranous. Now let's see the function. As you know that storage sac है body का, cell का. It maintains the osmotic pressure of the cell. Now what is osmotic pressure? We have learned about the hypotonic solution and all. Osmotic pressure means लिक्विड जो है जितने भी वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स या लिक्विड है उनका हाई लेवल से लो लेवल की तरफ मूव होना, दैट इज ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर. सो द स्टोर द मेटाबॉलिक बाय प्रोडक्ट एंड एंड प्रोडक्ट्स. जो भी रिएक्शन में प्रोडक्ट्स तैयार होते हैं, बाय प्रोडक्ट्स जो रहेंगे, और एंड प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक ग्लाइकोजन, प्रोटीन, वाटर एक्सेट्रा स्टोर्ड बाय द vacuoles. Now in animal cell they store waste product. In animal cell what they do, they store the waste product and food, while in amoeba it store the food before the digestion. When any amoeba take the food, they stored by vacuole in amoeba, the protozoa. Okay. In plant cell, vacuoles are full of cell sap and provide the turgidity and rigidity. What is turgidity and rigidity? टर्जिडिटी मीन्स द सोलन, यानी कि वो उससे फूल जाता है, सोलर हो जाता है, थोड़ा सा फूल जाता है. एंड रेजिडिटी मीन द हार्डनेस, दैट प्रोवाइड द हार्डनेस टू दैम. फुल ऑफ सेल सैप, यानी जितना भी सेल सैप रहता है वो प्लांट सेल में स्टोर्ड होता है, काय में? प्लांट सेल में, और वो वैक्यूल्स में स्टोर्ड होगा, और वो उसकी वजह से उसको टर्जिडिटी एंड रिजिडिटी प्रोवाइड करता है, यानी कि ठीक हो जाएगा, थोड़ा फूल जाएगा. सो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया and about the vacuoles. Hope you understood this much, and we will see next, that is a plastid, in our next lecture. So good luck and Allah Hafiz.